If there were only one thing, if I was only allowed to do one thing, I'm launching a new business. There's handcuffs on me. I'm only allowed to use one tactic to get my business launched and get it up to a place where I have profitability and I've got the cash flow I need to feel comfortable. This is literally it. It's not paid ads. It's not talks. It's joint ventures. This is the fastest way to make it happen. And it's powerful in more ways than one.
Welcome to the Super Clinic Project Podcast, where we take regular clinic owners and turn them into cash-based multimillionaire entrepreneurs. Warning, if you're a doctor who listens to this podcast regularly, you will make millions of dollars. Do not listen to this podcast unless you want to be a successful clinic owner who helps thousands of patients achieve their health goals and adds more money than you can imagine to your bank account. You've been warned.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Super Clinic Project podcast, where we give you the exact tactics, strategies, and mindsets you need to fulfill your destiny by helping thousands of people in your community and dominating your market and your life. I'm one of your hosts, Rory Morgan, and by the end of today's episode, you're going to know exactly how to get several dozen referral-grade new patients every single month through one of the most powerful and overlooked tactics in existence, which is joint ventures. Tracey, do you want to introduce the concept for us today?
Sure. Thanks, Rory. I think when it comes to joint ventures, this is a really great opportunity to include more reach within your market, to add another source for getting people in the door. There are, within your community, a bunch of different markets, and we can guarantee that there are businesses who have your ideal patient already in their system. So if you think of the example of, the sports chiropractic situated, 3 streets down from a gym, automatically you can see the symbiotic nature of both of those two kind of businesses or organizations. So it really is about identifying who else within your community has your ideal market, and then what symbiotic relationship can you work on to cross-refer, and that way bring more value to both your groups of patients.
Yeah, absolutely. So capturing, someone else already has that captive audience of people who need you. So, hey, let's ask them to share that audience with us for the right deal. So yeah, that's awesome. And what I can tell you is, I know the power of this tactic. If there were only one thing, if I was only allowed to do one thing, I'm launching a new business. The only thing I can, and I'm like, there's handcuffs on me. I'm only allowed to use one tactic to get my business launched and get it up to a place where I have profitability and I've got the cash flow I need to feel comfortable. This is literally it. It's not paid ads. It's not talks. It's joint ventures. This is the fastest way to make it happen. And it's powerful in more ways than one, right? Now, in our last episode, we talked about 1,000 golden babies, that concept of like, just follow the process and do the work, right? It's not like you're not just going to make one phone call and all of a sudden $1 million shows up in your bank account. It's not a silver bullet. So what I would say to you guys
is nice.
Yeah, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
But if you put effort into this strategy for 60 days, if you'll do it consistently for 2 months and you're really diligent, like there's no reason that you can't create partnerships that are worth consistently 20 to 40 new patients a month. And you have to play that out over the long term, right? So, okay, 20 to 40 new patients, like that's great. That's a nice month. But these are long-term ongoing things. And when you think about that over 12 months, a full year, 240 to 480 really high quality referral grade patients over the course of a year. Like that is enough to power your practice to be $1 million practice just on that. So if you can spend that 6 to 8 weeks and just say like, hey, you know what? I'm going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours a day to like work this. It's going to pay off huge down the road.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Take it over from here, Jennifer.
Well, I'm going to say being in clinics the way I used to be in clinics, one of the things I would do is do the outside marketing. And I had a background, back in the day when I, rode my dinosaur to work, because it was a long time ago. I was a pharmaceutical rep, and so my hook was I sell air, because I did pharmaceutical meds and liquid oxygen, right? What do you do? If I'm out or whatever, that's what I do. And I'm going to tell you that transitioning that sort of personality and energy of meeting people, right? It's high energy. Like if you want to talk about vibrations, I know a lot of people are maybe not into that. They think it's woo woo, but when you think of it, when you're doing referrals, you're getting into that high energy. You're talking about, get out of being afraid, right? They say in outside sales, the hardest door to open is your car door, just to get out of the car, right? To do it. But once you do it and you start talking about how excited you are, it's really high vibration. And you're putting a lot of really positive energy out, and you're meeting other energetic people. So it can be a huge thing for your business, because it's exponential. This is not just 20 referrals just 1 month and you never hear from them again. Paid ads is that constant money going out. We love paid ads. I mean, we're going to be talking about that in future episodes. But at the end of the day, it's, being able to consistently get those and provide that goodwill and that value and helping those people. And then they go out. So some best types of businesses, the first thing, of course, is the people right? That'll be easier, and not in the MLM way. Like, guys, you can make, we've all been hit up at the reunions and different things like that with the one person who's always in another pyramid scheme. No, this is different. The people that think about the gift card. You can use that concept with business to business referrals just as easily, right? Like any business, really, realtors are a great resource. They always have people that are new people coming into the area, and they're always selling them homes, and they're always giving them those new home little gift kits and things like that. You can go and say, hey, would you like to get $300 worth of healthcare, for someone, or a med spa or something else for your new people, and put your name on it when they come in. If you're a top referral, I'm going to put you into a referral just for our businesses. We have another one for patients, but this is just for our businesses. And you can be doing that left and right. And they'll be that's a great perceived value for them. Here's this kit. Here you get a map of your neighborhood, and here's some yummies from some stores, and look at this too, right? So never and realtors like to hustle too. So I would go approach all my realtors. I would approach, if you're in a health industry, don't forget any like health food, not just stores, but health food restaurants, juice places. You have juicers that will promote anti-inflammatory juices. We had a client that was a chiropractor, and he said, hey, I think my patients will benefit from that. So he actually went there and bought a gift card for the patients and had the patients give a gift card there to get it. And then he said, hey, if you'll, give this card to people who buy this sort of anti-inflammatory thing. And he started getting cross referrals from that. So there's a lot, it's only limited by your creativity and your positivity. You're going out all the time. You're taking, your spouse out. Y'all are going to dinner. You go to concerts. You go and do a bunch of things. So think about yourself as that business owner. Get yourself into the CEO mindset and be like, while I'm out talking, I'm just going to be handing these out and talking to people about them. You've got servers and wait staff that wait on you. I mean, I'd be all about it, Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think what's so important to build on that is have an experience. You'll need to have a process or a system or a way in which you're going to create an experience for these potential joint venture partners. You want to give them a bit of a taste on how you're going to treat your patients. So you want to come across with that VIP feel, which means you've got to be prepared. You can't show up and it's just a meet and greet and hey, I have this business down the road and I can see and have this fat conversation but not agreeing to anything. Understand what you want to get out of that arrangement and be clear on what the next steps are going to be. Not just, okay, cheers, I'll see you, maybe we can talk about it some other time. Understand what you want to get out of it. And then you can hype that up as well. I mean, the same way that you're going to have a process for your new patients to go through your practice, you're going to want to do the same thing with joint ventures and understand this is a different way of getting out there. So improving these skills aren't necessarily the same as improving patients moving through a process. So it takes a CEO has to wear a bunch of different hats, and this one is a very lucrative one for you to do very well.
Yeah, you're right, Tracey. It isn't just about handing out the gift cards. I was thinking of waiters and waitresses. You're going to want to be able to track this because you want to track that referral, and you're going to want to make it as attractive for that person to know that you will recompensate them in some way. Even though you cannot pay for patient referrals, you can let them know that you run a business, you're tracking things, and you're a professional. You'll get a lot more people receptive to you when you approach them from a position of strength than if it's just, hey, I got a business too. Let's just send some people together. Okay, cool. And then you go home all jazzed when you didn't really ask them for anything. You didn't tell them you were going to do anything. You have nothing concrete.
Yeah. I had a client who it was a sports chiropractic, and they were in a very small area space, had about 4 different gyms. And so what he did is he went out and he reached out to the bigger one because he's very good at kind of developing relationships, and he signed them up. Then he approached the rest of the ones saying, well, I already have partnerships with the bigger brand. Would you like to join us in? And already there's a little bit of pressure there, right? Because he's already doing it and he's backed by someone who has already kind of opted in. So there you go.
100%. Yep. So just to recap what we've talked about so far is joint ventures, just to make sure we can give you like a step-by-step to follow. Joint ventures are capturing somebody else's audience. They already have an audience. Your patients are in there. So approach other businesses who already have a client list of thousands of people or hundreds of people that they work with, right? And some of the best types of businesses, some of them are very obvious, right? So it's like, if you're a sports chiropractor, it's sort of obvious that, a gym is a good place, and gyms are great places. But there are less obvious ones, right? Maybe it's the boutique wine store down on Main Street where, might be a perfect referral partner for your med spa business. Maybe it's the health food stores that Jennifer mentioned. I always love realtors, right? Everybody's always like, well, I want patients who can afford me. Well, there are realtors that dominate those high income neighborhoods, and they sell nothing but $1 or $2 or $3 or $5 million homes, right? And they are super well known, super well connected in those communities. So, accountants are working with people that own businesses, right? And so their clients have money. And so, if you can imagine for a minute that you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know if a realtor, like how many of those people are going to have, back pain, or how many of those people are already going to be working with someone else for whatever it is that I do.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's like it's 1,000 golden BB. So if you imagine I partner with a realtor and an accountant and a restaurant and a gym all at the same time, and there's a bunch of cross-mogenation going on there, right? Those people belong to the gym, and they used that realtor, and they visit that restaurant every once in a while, and they're on the email list for all of those companies. And all of those companies at the same time, all in the same set of a couple weeks, they email their whole customer list and they say, this is my favorite chiropractor, or this is my favorite dentist, or this is my favorite med spa. They're awesome. I love working with them. And here is a free gift for you to go try them out. And they get the email from the accountant, the realtor, the gym, the whoever, right? The restaurant. It's like all of a sudden you're omnipresent. You now seem like a celebrity because everyone in the community is all of a sudden recommending you, right? And so it's extremely powerful from a branding standpoint to do that. So that's step one, is choose those businesses and write them down and reach out to them.
And I want to put some more that you're not thinking about. Don't forget about your own vendors. So if you're the only doctor who spins stem cells for the ABC stem cell spinner, ask the vendor, ask that sales rep when they come in, what can I do for you? How can I, besides doing this, is there any way else we can work together? Right. Yeah. And they'll say, well, if we could get 2 testimonials from you guys, then we can take you, put you with this Dr. So-and-so uses this revolutionary, and we'll talk about the outcomes. They'll pay for that. And you can take that marketing material, and now all of a sudden you're talking about, hey, I'm so good at it. Even so-and-so equipment company is talking about how great our patients are doing with this.
Yeah.
So you can do that with that. The sports bands that you're using, think of any vendor, athletic. Are you selling nutrition? Talk to your own vendors that are talking to you and say, hey, can we help each other out? How could I help you? And how can you help me? They're always looking, especially because reps are looking to improve in their area too. So they can come to you with ideas you've never even thought about. That are just raise your credibility ranking.
Yeah, and in the lowest hanging fruit, guys, is people you already know who have businesses.
Yep.
So you might know someone who owns a restaurant, but let me give you an example that's actually just like a very common business. This guy, I guess I kind of, like the mom who has, stays at home, but she's kind of got an MLM business where she just wants to make a little bit of money on the side, right? Like LuLaRoe is a really popular one like that. There's so many of these women who've been doing like the LuLaRoe business, and they have huge Facebook followings, right? And there's dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of women that watch this lady get on Facebook and sell their LuLaRoe, all their cool little designs and dresses and shirts and pants. And they get on these Facebook Lives and they're selling this stuff and they're buying from her, and they know her personality and they trust her. I know my wife was buying this stuff from like her friend that she met at, I think it was at my kid's school. And then all of a sudden she's buying all these fancy leggings, like once a week she has a new pair of leggings because she's always getting on these Facebook Lives and watching these LuLaRoe presentations, right? Well, that's such an awesome opportunity to be like, hey, how about this? Like I have a large practice. I have a lot of patients. Why don't you come in and present LuLaRoe for me? Like this is what we can exchange here. We have these events where we invite all these like small local businesses, and we have like 100 of our patients come over with these VIP nights where we have dinner and stuff, and we provide food and we have games for the kids, and you can present your LuLaRoe there. And then in turn, you could present, my chiropractic business on a night of your LuLaRoe, right? Well, hey, by the way, I want to mention to you guys, I've been having some back pain lately, and I went and saw Dr. Joe, and it was amazing. And he told me that I could give you guys this free gift, this awesome new patient special. I guess it wouldn't be free, right? It would be a low cost, right? But that's the deal. There is all of a sudden, like if you think about it, there's so many opportunities to partner with people and bring in a bunch of high quality patients.
Yeah.
Rory, as you're talking, what it makes me think of is that your practice doesn't exist in isolation. Your practice exists in a community. And this is just one way that you can harness the power of that community and really cross-refer each other. So, what that really is about, it really boils down to those relationships. Right? Yes. And with any joint venture that you're going to go into, you need to be very clear about what those expectations are, just like a relationship. So what is that going to look like? How are you going to develop? What are the touch points? How often are you going to reach out to these potential joint venture partners? And gifting, right? It's one thing to have this symbiotic relationship, but you also need to show your appreciation. You also need to show, working with me, it's not just our patients who get the ultra VP high end service. That is our culture. That is what you're going to get no matter how you touch with who we are and what we do. And of course, the tracking. So important to track all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to write those businesses out on a spreadsheet and say, okay, these are the ones I've reached out to. These are the ones I've had a meeting with. These are the ones who have agreed. Here's what the next steps are. Right. Absolutely. Right. And you can track it all. So,
yeah. And don't forget about always thinking of the what's in it for me and the what's in it for them. Making sure that those statements, you know that very easily, the what's in it for them, just like you're going to do, we're going to talk about it later on, the what's in it for them, for the patient, for your core offer, right? So that they will invest in themselves to get, to fix something that's probably been plaguing them for quite some time. It's the same thing when you're approaching these businesses. And there's just so many things that you can do. Don't discount influencers, especially if you're in the beauty biz, and they don't have to be the top influencers either. You could be just looking at people who really seem to have a passion for, different types of makeup and different things like that. I mean, we had one who was in Miami, and she just met two other women at this, a conference that was just adjacent to what she was doing. And they were taking tons and tons and tons of selfies and pictures and talking. And she just approached them and they came up with an agreement. And she ended up getting like 15 new patients within 3 weeks just from them. So, there's opportunity everywhere if you look and if you notice it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I want to hit these next couple steps just to kind of move things along a little bit faster. So I'll just pick it up from what you were just saying, Jennifer. So just to give you guys just step by step where we're at. So we've selected people to work with, right? We've talked about the low hanging fruit as people you already know, but then you're also going to want to get out to people you don't know, right? There might be that awesome realtor or that awesome restaurant or whatever that everybody loves, and you really want to be connected with them because the energy around that business is good. Everybody loves them, and you want to create a partnership there because that's going to associate you with another awesome business, and it's going to get you those high quality patients. So what you're going to want to do is create a VIP experience, right? This is for those businesses you don't know. Now, to give you another example, it's like if you're a chiropractor, your gold medal VIP experience is designed to convince that other business owner, like, holy crap, these guys are awesome. This is amazing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go approach these business owners. I recommend face-to-face, right? You can go do it at networking events. Maybe it's at Chamber of Commerce. Maybe you go knock on their door, whatever it is, but you can email them, you can call them, and you just want to basically approach them and just say, hey, I'm another business in the area, and I wanted to invite you as a local business owner, someone I really admire, to come over and experience it. It's totally free. It's on me. And I just want to get to know each other, see if we can help each other out. Right. Most people are going to say yes to that. And you are going to give this experience that might be worth, very similar to what we've talked about in other episodes, your whole new patient process. You're going to roll out the red carpet for them. You're going to make it amazing. You're going to include that exam, that consult, the x-rays, the report of findings. You're going to show them exactly what people get, exactly how awesome it is, exactly how amazing it is. Give them that first adjustment, throw in a massage, make them feel like, wow, this place is amazing, right? And you're going to be overseeing that personally because this is a really special relationship that you want to nurture. And then at the end of that, what you're going to then do is you're going to pitch them and just say like, hey, do you ever give like gifts to your clients? Would you be open if I were to give you a gift? Actually, the gift I would give you is this exact same experience that you just went through. If I just gave you that gift and you could give it away for free to your clients, right? And most people are going to say yes to that, right? And so they say yes. And what you then do is you've got to immediately get commitment and accountability and next steps. So it's like, perfect, awesome. Here's what we can do. to your whole email list. I have 5 emails. I'll send them over to you right now. Do you send out the emails, or does your secretary send out the emails, right? Do you have an assistant that does that? Oh no, that's Kathy, my assistant. Okay, great. What's her email address? I will send those over and you can send those out. Right? And then, okay, what date are you going to be ready to launch this? You've got to decide on a date. You have to get commitment, all of that stuff. And you want to just have this all pre-planned out so you make it very, very easy for them to be able to go out and do that. Right. And so they send out the email list. And then the next piece of that is how to structure compensation. So it's really easy if you have, a friend, right? Where it's like they're kind of doing you a favor, right? That's why you want to approach those low-hanging fruit ones like that, right? In a business where you aren't worried about like kickbacks and stuff like that, you can pay them a percentage of the sales that you make, right? Or if it's like, if what the deal is that you're giving them is this $300 package, but what you're offering through them is this $300 new patient special, but it's for only, let's say $20. You can just give them, hey, I'll just give you the $20 on all these, right? Or if they sign up for a higher package, you can get 10% or 20% or whatever that is, right? In some joint ventures, I see people negotiate as high as 50%, but that's really up to you. Now, if you are worried about kickbacks, like in a lot of clinical business, the deal is very simple. It's just a cross promotion. So, hey, in return for you doing this for me, every single patient who I currently have and my entire email list and every single person that walks in the future, I am going to give them your deal. I'm going to give them your special promotion, your, free drinks at happy hour, or whatever promotion you want to run to get more people in. I'm going to give them that to you in return. Right. And so now that's how you compensate each other, is just, hey, we'll just cross promote each other. We'll grow each other's businesses. So it's pretty easy to structure these deals, and everybody's looking for clients. So they all want to do it.
Now, something I've seen, Rory, as you're positioning that cross-selling, when I go to collect my daughter from her Montessori school, they have got a board up. It's like a billboard, and it says, these are all of our preferred partners. And there is everything from roofers to tilers to garden service to local bed and breakfasts. Any single member of the community, any kind of organizational business that has anything to do in a positive way with the school, and they get featured there. And I think it's also important that you do the same thing, right? Be proud of the joint ventures that you've reeled in, and feature them. Put it out there, get other people wanting to get onto that bandwagon because they see, wow, this is a really solid group of brands.
Yep. Yeah. And you can really make yourself like metaphorically speaking, like the mayor of the town, right? Where it's like, you're the one who knows all the business owners. Everybody comes to you, everybody refers you, and you kind of become like, man, I want to be a part of what that guy's doing or that gal's doing. And so it's super powerful. So yeah, that's how you structure it. And then obviously the gift that you're giving away to those potential new patients is going to be, it's going to be that same gold medal VIP experience that you gave to that business owner. You're going to be giving that away as your gift, right? So if it's a restaurant, what you're going to then do is you're going to go train that restaurant's employees, and you're going to say, okay, everything that walks in the door, we're going to give them this. And here's what you say, right? And it's going to be something along the lines of, hey, I don't know if you've checked out our partner yet, but these are some of our preferred partners. If you happen to be having back pain, here's a great place to go. I want to give you this, right? And it's pretty darn simple. Same thing, 1,000 golden BBs. Does every single person that they hand it out to come into your office? No, but some do. And so you just got to keep it going. And that's how you end up with, when you have, 5, 10 of these partners, you all of a sudden have, 25, 40 referrals a month coming in from this.
And I just want to remind everybody that for people who are in your car, you're driving. We have all of this as our download. Just go to superclinicproject.com and join us, and you'll be getting emails with the synopsis and then any of these worksheets. We also have our mastermind that Rory's going to talk to you about.
Yeah, absolutely. Join us there. And there's a button there on superclinic.com where you can join the mastermind. And again, you can try that for 14 days for free. All right. So like, it's like, hey, how do I implement this? How do I get this? Join it and you've got access to it. So last thing I want to emphasize one more time is accountabilities, due dates. If there's something your partner has to do, get a commitment on it. Say, okay, email me at this time. Here's the launch day. Here's what I'm going to do. What can you commit to doing? Get very clear on that. Don't just leave it at, oh yeah, that sounds great. Let's promote each other. Okay, cool. I'll call you next week. Don't leave it at that. Get a plan in place before you finish that conversation, because, you know, what is it? The road to hell is paved in good intentions, right? So don't just leave it at an intention. Get it done. Yeah, I think we should wrap it up here, guys. Go join the mastermind, superclinicproject.com, subscribe, and implement this. Tracey, do you want to tell the people what to do now they have this new information?
Just do it. Just go out and do it.
All right, guys, go out and get it done, and email us and let us know how it goes. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the Super Clinic Project podcast. If you like what you hear, subscribe and stay tuned for further episodes of the Super Clinic Project podcast.